morning, everyone. My name is Len Zeiser, and this is my father, Len Zeiser. Welcome to Azimuth Technology. We'd like to thank the families of the fallen heroes that we are honoring today. It's a privilege that you are here. As a company, we learned about the amazing achievements and sacrifices each of these men and women gave for our country. We're grateful to them and to you. We'd also like to thank many veterans joining us today. It is a true honor to have you here. Azimuth Technology opened its doors just a few short months ago. Since May of this year, we have grown our team to 65 of the best men and women you could ask for. Today, they are joining us here with their families. Welcome. At Azimuth Technology, we take great pride in our country, our company, and the products we manufacture. We take exceptional pride in the fact that everything we manufacture, including the material that we use, is made in the USA. There are a few more people I'd like to thank before the ceremonies begin. First of all, I'd like to thank Rosa Gonzalez. She made this day possible. She worked tirelessly to get all the families here and to make this event happen. Also, our in-house veteran, Giovanni DiCardi. Also, we'd like to thank Jim Ellison, President of the Collier County Veterans Council. His guidance and expertise has been amazing. We'd like to thank the veterans from Hodges, Iraq, Afghanistan Veterans Club, our bugler, Sergeant Robert McDonald, John Ramo Jamro in the Collier County Museum Battery, which you'll be hearing soon. And our soloist, Miss Jeannie Upton. We have a great day planned ahead of us. Thank you for being part of it. Now please stand as Miss Jeannie Upton leads us in the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
First, let us recognize the families of our heroes that are joining us here today as we remember their loved ones and the ultimate sacrifice they paid for our freedom. Joining us today, Baron Schanenberger's parents, Cheryl and Wentz, his Aunt Lisa Fisher and her husband, and I know he has other relatives here, so thank you for coming. Stan Lipinski's mom, Gay Lipinski, Fred Cannon's wife, Marie Cannon, and son Hunter and Corey, and Fred's father-in-law, Eli. Brandon Gordon's mother, Terry Gordon. Peter Neasley's best friend, Dan Fontella. Richard Burris' wife, Tabitha Burris, and daughter Alyssa. Richard's mother, Tina, and her husband, Tony. Robert John R.J. Newton's grandparents, Linda and Robert Newton. On behalf of everyone here today, thank you for coming. We are deeply humbled and grateful to share this day with you. Today, we are also privileged to have veterans joining us that served prior to 9/11. Major General Mike Coyne, United States Marine. Brigadier General Joseph Racky. Captain James Elson, U.S. Army. First Sergeant Eli Seda, U.S. Army. Sergeant Robert McDonald, U.S. Army Air Corps. Sergeant Frank Kerr, U.S. Army. Sergeant Doug Reeves, U.S. Air Force. Petty Officer Matthew Neely, U.S. Navy. Petty Officer Cliff Cook, U.S. Navy. Private Peter Thomas, 1st Infantry Division, D-Day Invasion. We would also like to recognize and thank the individuals who served in the Iraq and Afghanistan or Afghanistan wars that are joining us here today. Stephen Lamboy, Michael Poole, Michael Blount, Greg Cintron, Adam Nichols, Billy Bigglestaller, Jamel Maloney, William Lang, Giovanni DiCardi, Dwight English, Greg Hubie, Juan Estrada Garcia, Omaladi Kolawol, Stephen Smallwood, Michael Killis, Raina Burlock, Matt Brennan, Adon bin Israel, Kathleen Alvarez, Christian Given, Oscar Gomez, Juan Pineros. If there are veterans amongst us that I did not mention, we do appreciate your service and are honored to have you here today. On behalf of everyone here at Azimuth Technology, our families and our guests, our humblest and sincerest gratitude for protecting and serving our country. Because of you, the United States of America remains the land of the free and the home of the brave. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Jim Elson, President of the Collier County Veterans Council.
Good morning, all. How wonderful it is to see such dedicated patriots here today. In the hours before the dawn, on April 19, 1775, Colonel Buttrick, the commander of the Concord, Massachusetts militia and Minutemen, realized that his few hundred men were hardly a match for the 777 British regular army troops that were marching from Boston to Concord. He also knew that hundreds of Minutemen were on the march from every surrounding town to aid the battle at Concord. As the officers laid plans, Captain Isaac Davis volunteered his company to lead the charge, stating, "I haven't a man that's afraid to go." Hold fire were the standing orders of the day. Hold fire until you see the whites of their eyes. Colonel Buttrick issued the command as the opposing forces came closer, saying, "Fire, fellow soldiers, fire, for God's sakes, fire!" In that first volley, 2 British Army soldiers and 2 colonists were mortally wounded. One was Captain Isaac Davis, who bravely led that charge. So it was this very action on the morning 238 years ago that put into motion that what caused the creation of the United States of America. Today, we gather to honor all who have paid the ultimate price for our country, and especially those from Collier County. It is a day to recognize those who have sacrificed in defense of freedom and democracy. With right hand held high and proud, every veteran as they entered active duty has stated, "I solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey all the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God." From that first battle of the American Revolution in Concord, Massachusetts, to our ongoing war against terror around the world, our military forces voluntarily face danger and endure hardship in order to preserve and protect our way of life. In these unsettled times, it is critical that all citizens pause and pay homage to those who have given so much, to those who have given their all. Our military forces voluntarily take the oath to defend America, and they have upheld that oath with bravery and decency. Our debt of gratitude extends also to the families who stood by their servicemen and women in times of war, in times of peace. Each of the fallen have left behind loved ones who carry a burden of grief, and all Americans are inspired by the strength of these families. Recent successful missions completed by our brave active duty troops are due full appreciation, but the real heroes are those who never return home and must always be remembered and always loved for their devotion. In closing, I offer these words of an American soldier captured and imprisoned in the dreadful Hanoi Hilton during the Vietnam War. He carved into his concrete and stone crude prison cell wall these words: "For those who fight for them, life and liberty have a flavor. The protected and indifferent will never know." Thank you. That is the bugle call for the Guards mounting. The next event, Petty Officer 3rd Class Matthew Neely, United States Navy. Would you uncover the flag, please? The names and the units they served with in the branch of service is listed on this plaque forever. Sergeant Frank Kerr, United States Army, retired, and President of the Iraq-Afghanistan Veterans Club, will now come forward and read the names of honor.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here to honor
Here, try this one. Take that one.
Check. Sorry. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here to honor our fallen service members and their families. Edmund Burke once said, and I quote, "The only thing necessary for evil to triumph, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing." I believe our service members today believe that. Our service members members go to war not because they love war, but because they love what they left behind and want to protect it. There is no way we contain the grief of our loved ones lost. We can only honor the sacrifice of our service members and their families and say that the life they laid down on the altar of freedom will never be forgotten. The service members we are honoring today are Sergeant First Class Wentz Baron Schanberger III, of the 101st Airborne Division of the U.S. Army. Corporal Stanley J. Lipinski, 3rd Infantry Division, U.S. Army. Captain Fred A. Cannon, 3rd Infantry Division, U.S. Army. Specialist 4, Brandon D. Gordon, 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, U.S. Army. Sergeant Peter C. Neasley, 3rd Infantry Division, U.S. Army. Specialist 4, Richard B. Burris, 3rd Infantry Division, U.S. Army. Lance Corporal Dennis J. Burrow, 8th Marine Regiment, U.S. Marine Corps. Lance Corporal Robert John Newton, 1st Marine Division, U.S. Marine Corps. And Sergeant Linda Pierre, 101st Airborne Division, U.S. Army.
Master Sergeant Stephen Lamboy, United States Air Force, retired. He is the NCOIC of the Flag of Honor Detail. Sergeant Lamboy, present the color of honor.
Present. Huh. Hold up. Huh. Left and wheel, hut. Park time, hut. D10, out, out. Halt. Details. Halt. About hit. Right. Hit. To earth. Hit. Hit. Tail. Hit. Hit. Tail. Hit. 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 Right. Hit. Hit. Right. Hit. 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 Right. Right. Hit. 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 Hit.